So I'd do a part 2. Let me see what else we can find here. That's 1923. Between the acts, okay, think of what's between the book of in the Bible called Acts and Revelation. Well, the coming of the lawless one and the son of perdition. Okay. Even though the guy who made this might not have meant it this way, he might not have realized he was channeling. He was channeling a spirit from spiritual dimensions. I mean, I used to do it when I was more into rap music, and I used to freestyle a lot. I didn't realize sometimes I'd, especially when I was partying and my mood was altered from substances, I could start to almost channel. I'd get really good, and I could go for just hours and not run out of freestyle material. And it wasn't till later I found out. I watched this Illuminati John Todd guy who showed them playing the music backwards and seeing stuff like the "Thank You Satan" song. I didn't realize that anyone has the really potential to tap into channeling information from spiritual realms. It's really strange, but the same way that I used to channel words to say and content for song material, these people get channeled art information, and you look at it, they might not have meant it that way, but it wasn't really totally them that did it. They were influenced, man. It's like you hear this thing where the alien abductions, they call, like, I think it's an encounter of the fifth kind, and it's where they telepathically communicate to you. And if the aliens can do that, well, what if and the demons can do that? And here's where the thing, I seen this thing where there's a demon and his name is Osmodeus, and his symbol is a clown. Like, basically you can see him in Spawn, and there's other movies where angel movies. Like, what's funny, I listened to Second Ezra's last night, and there's an angel named Uriel, and he was like this real smart angel, and he basically taught things by asking Ezra questions, and then they'd be questions where you couldn't answer them, and then he was like, see, if you can't understand these things, he's like, there's no way you're gonna understand the Most High. Same thing with this. If you can't understand that these people channel stuff, and it's all written out there, the goat, in between the acts, and you get in here and you see all these sigil-looking, demonic, goetic, like almost. Wait, let me see. This right here, look, it looks like two aliens holding hands. Those are two alien heads, and then you look at the inverse or the white on it. It almost looks like one of those hats you set on people, like a battle helmet, like on 300, where the only thing you got your head's covered in metal, but there's just two holes for your eyes. But they also look like two little alien figures standing there holding hands. Okay, now let's look at this. What days are in this month? Let's see. We got Valentine's Day, which I seen a Mothman on, or a drone or something strange, UFO. President's Day, Washington's Day, Lincoln's birthday. Ooh, that already passed. And Groundhog's Day. I heard is a high satanic, holy high day. I don't know why, but I've heard that. Okay, now let's see what this says about this. Listen to this. The winter blues shouldn't be ignored. Some people experience seasonal affected disorder, SAD. If that's funny, word magic. With the change of the seasons, it is very real depression that saps energy and causes severe mood problems. Hey, you hear I'm reading that? And the color of that blue, that's the energy it's sending off to me. Mood problems. Frequently correlated with the winter months. SAD can often be treated with light therapy, psychotherapy, some psychotherapy, and medications. Especially some medications coming from who? Old witches, some bat wings, some newt tail, and some pig eyeball, and goat nuts, whatever. let's look at this logo here. Yeah, see, even this Union logo. Look at it. I mean, that's the pharmacology is pharmakia. So it comes from pharmakia, which could mean medicine, but it also could mean witchcraft and like drug use. You can look into that whole caduceus serpent intertwined thing and all their stuff. But anyway, if the feeling comes every year and lasts all winter, don't brush it off and try to tough it out on your own. You better call, and then you better put on your happy face and dance to the tune. Here's another thing. You can also think of the jester as kind of like, in Nebuchadnezzar's time, there's a time when the music would play and everyone would kind of like dance, and then they would stop and they'd all have to bow to the false image. In a way, you could think of this guy as the master conductor who is setting up the situation where all the music's playing and everyone's got to bow to the image, like in the time of Nebuchadnezzar as well. You could think of it kind of like that, because Daniel does deal with the end time as well, and he mentions the son of perdition and desolation, which makes desolate, and the iron mixed with clay. And once again, someone who, it's like so serious, and then this guy comes in and makes a joke of the most serious things when it's totally inappropriate. And it's kind of like that's your whole element of someone who's got a totally nihilist attitude, which just wants to see the world's burn because they can. And it's even in Isaiah. It says that is this the man that turned the world back into a wilderness? And it really is like that movie, The Dark Knight Rises, at the very beginning when one guy steals the van, then he goes and drops the van off to the robbery site, and then as he hands the guy the keys, he shoots him in the head, and then this guy runs in, grabs a bag, takes it to the next guy. That guy shoots him in the head, takes the bag, runs it to the next guy, put the money in it. The dude runs that out, then he gets shot in the head by that other guy, and at the end, they hand the Joker the money, this guy, and then he shoots that guy in the head. And that is your Isaiah. This is the man that when they all stand at judgment, this is the man that deceiveth the whole world. And look, that is kind of a good representation. That's someone who's going to be humble in their approach and appear to be something else. But I mean, whenever you're approaching a jester or a clown, that's a clown and a jester, and they play tricks. They use magicianry as well, like the whole flower that shoots out the water or the buzzer on the hand. That's another form of magicianry as well. So just trying to tie in some of these random rogue elements. Like I said, Asmodeus, you can look at it into Hollywood Insiders. They make 2 great documentaries explaining the schematic and the breakdown and the retelling of the same story. And this is one of the way it plays out, but there's no way it can be that orchestrated. It has to be, oh wow, look at this. It has to be, they got to be channeling from some spiritual data bank. Look at that, that's an owl right there. Little owl, like the owl on top of the $5 or the dollar bill up in the corner, upper right corner. It's deep how much stuff you can just pull off of random stuff, just the stuff around you, and how much effect is this having on you with you being unaware of it, even though it looks on its appearance like there's nothing funky there. But if you know esoteric, how they think and why they do the things that they do, you see something like this and you see that it's telegraphing something more than what it appears to telegraph.